Alright guys, so today we have to go through a lot of content because we have a test on Monday. And if we get further behind, we will be behind on our milestone stuff. So, all slides are on E-Class. I will have guided notes for you guys filled out for you Friday or Monday. So today we're going to be going over the Red Scare. We're talking about things that's happening after World War I, okay? So today we're going to be looking at a lot of AKSs actually. But we're going to start talking about the Red Scare really quick. Basically how people had fears with immigration and also just overall the spread of communism. We're also going to talk about how the 18th Amendment and the 19th Amendment pops up in the United States. We are also going to talk about how movies and radio unified the United States. Okay? Then we'll play a game really quick, and then we're going to pop over to the Roaring Twenties.
No.
Yes.
No.
Alright, so, do you guys remember anything we talked about with World War I on Monday?
Yes.
What do you remember?
The Allies, the Axis powers, World War I lasted 4 years.
Yeah.
America was not trying to get involved until like 45 or 60 died. John F. Kennedy did not. America was forced into the war.
How were they forced into the war?
Because we got 45 citizens died on a boat that was bombed by, I forgot what
Japan.
By Japan? No, Japan was Pearl Harbor.
That was Pearl Harbor, World War II. You're jumping ahead of war. Yes, yes. Remember 128 Americans died because the Lusitania got sunk? America was trying to stay neutral. So staying out of the war, they're staying neutral. So that neutrality, Woodrow Wilson did not want to get involved in the war. So this is after the war. So of course we know that America and their allies, Great Britain, France, and Russia, they win this war. Germany is punished. We'll have to talk about Woodrow Wilson's 14 points.
Well, was it that they had to shorten their military budget and like cut out their armies and all that?
Yeah, so when you guys see anything on the test talking about the 14 points, you're gonna cut down your military spending so that you can have less conflicts with countries. They're gonna create the League of Nations. So all these countries are gonna get together. Hey, if we're having conflict, we're gonna kind of do this in a diplomatic way. And then they also wanted for any countries that had territories outside their like home country, give it back to that country, let them govern themselves. So that's pretty much the basis of the 14 points, okay? So now we're talking about America after World War I. So the Red Scare is always going to refer to, why does it look like that?
Is that when the Great Depression happened, or was that after World War II?
This is for the Great Depression. Great Depression is 1930s. Yeah, we're not there yet. Alright, so your Red Scare is always going to refer to, focus. Your Red Scare is always going to refer to communism. This is the first Red Scare we're talking about, okay? So because America is seen as the melting pot, which countries are bringing most people over right now in the United States at this time period?
Africans.
No, we're talking about communism.
Oh, communism?
Yeah.
Europe.
Europeans.
Asians.
Europeans, right? So, guys, focus, please. Alright, so what you guys need to know about communism. This idea of communism is based off of the principles that if the people are the working class, they should be the ones making all the wealth, okay? Pure communism is saying that the people should have the wealth, not the business owners. Communism doesn't work out that way in real life, but on paper, communism is about helping people, okay? So you have this man, he is a German philosopher named Karl Marx. He has this whole idea of how to help the economy based off of those principles. They're also on E-Class if you need them, and I'll also have guided notes for you guys Friday. I'll have them filled out and stuff. So don't worry, it's all posted. So he basically has this idea which is gonna basically form the Communist Party. So, this is why they do not like labor unions, because this is in the interest of the workers and not the corporations. Remember, America is based off of capitalism. So they do not like the idea of communism. If you guys think about Cuba, North Korea, and China, do we really necessarily are super comfortable with communism? No. So this is why they're kind of against that. Pure communism in the book is that way. In real life, that's not really how communism is in actuality, but in this book it is. Make sense so far?
So Cuba's the what's called dictatorship, right?
I believe so, yes. Alright, so what's gonna happen that's gonna basically jumpstart the Soviet Union is in Russia there is a movement called the Bolshevik Revolution. You have a bunch of people who are gonna basically overthrow the Tsar. The Russians they have a monarchy, so they have a king. They overthrow their king so they can basically put this communistic system in order, okay? So that people can work, make the money, and all the rich are not profiting off of the hard work that the working class is doing. Make sense? Okay. So, when you get back to America, America is scared that communism is going to spread into America. So you have an individual, the Attorney General, we still have one of those by the way. He gets kind of frightened because in Italy they have these anarchists that are going around bombing political figures. What's going to happen is that it's going to create them having this fear that, oh, we have communists in America. The Palmer raids are basically people being accused of being communists. The government's going to go in, arrest them, interrogate them, and if they're found to be communists, they're either jailed or whatever else they're going to do to them. Make sense?
Like the sleeping agent, right? Or what was it called? Something like that. No,
Yeah.
People that were trained or something like that.
KBG?
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah. So remember, they're afraid because they don't want spies internally in the United States. Make sense? Okay. I'm going through this real quick, y'all, but we will play a game in a second. All right. So you're going to see a lot of propaganda against the Soviet Union. Just so you guys know, this little symbol right here is the symbol for the Soviet Union. That represents communism, by the way. You're going to see that again.
The sickle and...
If you can't see it, yeah. If you can't see it, I have it in the slides on E-class. But you'll see this again. So you'll see propaganda that's like the red iceberg referring to countries falling to communism, okay? America wants to contain communism. We'll talk more about that in World War II, but they do not want it over here in America. They're like scared. Because America has so many immigrants coming over from Europe, what do you think they're gonna do to the European immigrants?
Deport them.
Not deport them, but what do you think they're gonna do for the people trying to get in from Europe?
Make them slaves.
Not slaves.
Close
They're gonna close the border, or they're gonna limit how many people are coming over from Europe because we don't want potential communists coming in, right? Doesn't that seem similar to what's going on now? Pretty much. So, you're gonna see acts called the National Origins Act and also the Quota Act. You're gonna limit how many Europeans are coming into the United States. So, hey, we're only letting, I'm gonna use this as an example. Let's say there's like 10 people trying to come in, we're only letting one of them in, okay? They're cutting down significantly how many people from Europe is coming over. So, because you have that fear, you're gonna have these ideals called nativism pop up, which basically is Americans who are born in America are better than the immigrants that are coming in. So they're gonna have the superiority because we were born here, we are better than the immigrants. Make sense? If you think about modern day, how it is now, it's kind of similar, unfortunately. Okay? All right, back to this 18th Amendment we talked about earlier.
Oh, this is horrible.
You have the 18th Amendment, which is gonna ban alcohol, like we talked about, okay? And because they have this anti-European attitude, beer is usually German, they have this like, cool, we're gonna ban it. What's gonna happen is, they're gonna have this idea like, hey, if you're not out partying and drinking, you're seen as patriotic, okay? But what it's gonna do is, it's going to basically create a black market for alcohol. So you're gonna have organized crime, Al Capone, all those good people, all those people, maybe not good people, but all those people are gonna create this black market for alcohol. They're gonna start making it illegally, selling it illegally, and they're also gonna make speakeasies, and you're gonna see a lot of bootleggers. So for speakeasies, you guys seen The Great Gatsby, by the way?
Yeah.
The Great Gatsby, like, I don't know if you've seen, in one of the scenes, you have the main character goes into this bar, it's like a secret bar. That's what a speakeasy is. Secret bar where they're gonna sell alcohol, they're gonna party and drink and stuff, but it's illegal, okay? So you'll see how the 18th Amendment is gonna basically impact America at this time. This time period is called Prohibition, by the way. So Prohibition is no alcohol sales, no alcohol drinking, all that stuff. Not to say that people still aren't drinking, because they are, okay? Make sense so far?
I have a question.
Yes.
Where were the Mexicans during this era?
They're gone.
No.
Mexican.
Remember, during World War I, they started to come in to work. They're coming in to work.
Yeah, but no beer, no Mexican.
I mean, I'm sure that they're probably involved in the process of this, because remember, a lot of them coming in are working in agriculture. You need to have certain products to make alcohol. So, I'm sure they are very much involved in this process. Alright, then you have your 19th Amendment again. Remember, women gained the right to vote with the 19th Amendment. So now women can have a voice in government. Make sense? Okay, so you have 18 to 19. Cool? Alright, everybody good on Red Scare? Any questions? Alright, we're about to play a game real quick. Alright, so here are the rules to the game. I'm gonna give you a card. Do not let anyone see your card. Okay? We're gonna do rounds. What you're gonna do, so you're gonna have a certain amount of people who are gonna be communists. You guys have to try to form the biggest group you can without having any communists in your group. Your card is gonna talk about who you are. So for example, let me just use myself real quick. Let's say for instance, one of the cards says that I'm a politician and I believe that, I believe socialism is good. Would you think I'm a communist?
Yes.
So remember, socialism goes against capitalism. So would you think I'm a communist?
Yes.
Yes. So the thing is, when you get your card, you can't have people reading off their cards word for word. Read your card, learn who you are, and then try to convince people that you're not a communist. On the top of your card, it will say you're a non-communist or that you're a communist. Cool? So whoever has the biggest group with no communists wins.
How many
Makes
groups
sense?
can there be?
It doesn't matter, but whoever has the biggest group with no communists wins. Okay? Make sense?
With no communists?
Yeah. Everybody good? Alright, do not let anyone see your cards. Okay? So read them, learn who you are, don't read it word for word, just try to remember who you are.
I saw it. I love when Luis says it.
He's taking a picture and cheating. ChatGPT.
I'm watching all of your
Oh my God.
Just like Bambina.
Alright, so you have your cards, learn your person, and then you're basically gonna have to basically ask people like look into who they are, and you have to decide if they're communists. And you can kick people out of groups. So if you think they're a communist, don't let them in your group. Cool? It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's a game. I give you one. Alright, so guys, everybody stand up. You're gonna start forming your groups. I'm gonna set a 5-minute timer.
You should just tell me to stay.
Wait, so do I get off the
Hello, are you Patriot?
Alright.
Everybody?
Ready?
You like beer?
Alright, so you guys have to form a group. So you're gonna have to stand up and like talk to each other.
You like 49ers?
So you gotta ask like, hey, who are you? What do you do? Ask them questions. Now don't make them read from their card because that's cheating. So you gotta convince people that you're not a communist.
I'm an immigrant.
Very expective,
Are you
sympathetic,
Well, I already saw
So, like,
them. What is it then? What is it? What am I?
Are you in the army? I am, bro, I am. Okay.
Like,
And
Y'all trying to make a union, huh?
He's coming in and saying, oh, yeah, that's good. Let me see yours.
Yeah, you just, if they ask you, like, oh yeah, I'm a Darwin Republican. Communist, yeah.
He's a communist. I'm a housewife of a lawyer.
So like you guys question each other because you have to decide. You have to decide where somebody.
What do I give?
Because certain people
I love capitalism.
y'all can't force somebody to read.
I love capitalism.
Nah, you're a communist.
That's what it says on the card. Oh, no, I can't lie. I gotta say what it's on the card.
I'm trying to look.
I like sleeping on the couch. Huh? That did not hurt. You're lying.
What you doing? Are you in the army?
Basically, if you're on my left, it's people
Okay, I'm a white.
Tell me why you're not a communist.
Who are you?
I went to the army and
Nah, we're talking
So remember guys, communism would appeal to
I'm a wife.
So he's broke. That's common. What about you?
out.
Yeah, I'm kidding.
Out.
Bro, those scripts are adopted.
you guys are the biggest.
You can't read it all the way. You have to read some.
Yeah, just try to read
I'm
it.
not.
So this is
My
more
dad died. My dad died. I'm married, and I stay at home.
I know that.
What are you?
I'm a sixth generation American.
Don't read it on the card.
I'm also broke. And my brother just got back from work a couple months.
From where
I need to go.
I just came.
Tell me why you
How do we know you're not a communist?
I don't think we're all.
I'm confused.
Oh, how do you know you're not?
Yeah, just leave it. Because I know.
I've been introducing evolution.
How do you know you're not a communist?
How did the argument? I came back. And I came back from abroad.
Me too. I'm a politician.
Because I had some. I have
You're all white. Yeah, I love capitalism. Yeah, that's
She told me, she's like, I'm married, I'm staying home, mom.
Oh.
What else?
I was kicked out. I was kicked out of my down by communists.
So they have a job.
What else?
You got a job.
Oh.
You
No,
guys
like,
have like 20 seconds
I'm
for your groups.
studying.
So the group that has the most amount of people wins with no communists in it. So you guys form your groups. You got 10 seconds. So separate each of your groups.
What type of art? I guess it's not a group.
All right, we got. All right, okay. All right, so Denise and Jonathan, which group are you guys in?
Guilty, guilty.
You're in your own group. Okay. These are your finalized groups.
Hey, what's up?
This is Tyler. This is your finalized group.
What group is this?
This is a group. You guys good about your groups?
Yeah.
Good about your group? All right, since you guys are the biggest group. Okay, final choices. All right, if you have any communists, step forward. Look at y'all, because y'all didn't interview her good. Okay? So you guys are out.
I knew it.
She's a communist. All right, since you guys are the second largest group, any communists step forward? No communists? No communists? None?
No.
Okay. How about you guys? Any communists? No communists? All right, so see, you got deceived. Actually, don't tell me. All right, so we're gonna do another round, okay? So I need everybody's name. We're gonna shuffle them, and we're gonna try this again. So, you guys gotta be more diligent. You're trying to figure out who's the communist.
Wait,
I was so frustrated too. I was like, why is my
Yeah, but I'm not a communist.
Here's a fallen.
All right, I'm gonna shuffle these guys, and we're gonna try again.
That's not the all. Come on, call your mama. Your mama don't believe me. Everything I say, bro.
So what? They take only one. Where's my?
Those more. They got unlocked.
I'm ready. You rushing? Come on, rush.
What you say?
Of course it was you.
I don't know the time and place today.
I thought it was Annie. No.
Hold up, 'cause I'm kind of scared now. What if I get?
You're white.
Oh, period.
Real white.
Stop trying to look at my.
Irene.
Yeah.
Yes. Come on, Jonathan. You gotta be a part of the game.
Oh, the camera saw me. Oh, everything.
Come on, Jonathan.
We'll come big. Actually, I should not be saying that.
What about you, Maddie?
All right, everybody got a card, yeah? All right. Here we go. All right, guys. Time to start. All right, 5 minutes. You gotta decide who's communist and who isn't.
You communist. Tell me why you're not communist. I'm communist. No, I'm for getting pressure.
All right. So,
No, actually, that's the answer.
I got her.
What are you?
You were.
this is.
You were what?
I was a boss. Keep each other out.
You can't see it.
Communists can still be bosses.
What are you?
This is the food they have the rest of
What are you?
So like, how
Best friends with
question
politicians.
yeah.
Very powerful man. Very powerful man.
Alright. We're in the group. There's no wives, there's a wife and a communist. If she was a communist, she was a wife. So there's no wife. But there's only one communist. So there's no wife.
I don't know. I can't trust that. You ain't saying what war. You might be.
Music and.
He said World War.
Music.
So this time period, you're World War I.
There's a lot of them.
This is the time period after World War
No, but
I.
I'm saying if it's a white thing, can be, if she was a white lady, if she was a
Kicking
communist.
her out.
You're not gonna
Yeah,
defend
yeah.
yourself.
Oh, wait.
She not fit.
Exactly, so no wives.
You don't have to be word for word, but defend yourself. You're not gonna defend yourself.
What are you?
I was fighting.
That's communist right there.
Are you a white?
Oh, wow.
Are you a white?
Trust me.
Nah.
Yeah, you up. You up.
You can't, you can't.
So,
Go try to come in and date.
What do you mean? Why do you
I'm not a white. No, it's only one communist. It's only one communist.
Why would you?
I had that card.
No, cause
You're fighting
the only
to protect
communist was
American
her.
values. Why would
If
you
she
be
was a white.
considered a communist? You are a veteran too.
Yeah, there's multiple.
World War I was called the
There's
Great
no,
War, and there was a lot of
other communists.
heavy blood stuff going on.
Alright, get your ass on, bro. That's all I got.
Just try to get your ass on. Think of something that would.
I don't
Nah,
understand.
she never do my son.
All I know is that the communist dude only likes me.
So,
That's all I know.
they were saying that in war, no one should stay with
And
the
you
war.
saw I'm not a communist.
They didn't believe
Is it the one where like, if you're a worker, you Oh, yeah, she's
Like, how
I still don't believe it. Like, I'm
how the workers are treated badly, they believe that they should have access to the wealth that those big business owners are making. The business owners should be making all the money. The worker treated, that's why it has this fear, because remember, America is based off of capitalism. Capitalism is all drives businesses.
We know you're a
Make money
communist.
and money. These stuff made in America and making the money and the economy is growing. If we're going against that, then you're going against American values. So, are you guys agree?
You're out too, you're out too. You're out too. You're out too.
Get out.
So, how's it going? You guys are, so you think American communist why?
He's not giving us green.
Come on, bro. Tell us more about your character. Let me tell you. I can't even explain it. You'll get I'm an old ass dude who can't language.
Language.
I'm an old dude. Still working because I'm not. You coming? Okay. Y'all are communists, bro. I know that. Yeah, this is what I want to talk about.
This is all one group? You guys trust each other?
I heard. What's up?
How you been?
Louis.
So am I your group?
It's like, you guys trust each other? What do you have to be a communist?
What's your cousin? Wait, who's the communist? Come out.
Alright.
What's your office?
Oh, yeah.
You can't be.
Like, oh, she tested. I don't trust him.
Over there.
I tried that, bro. I tried that.
All he said was a wife. He never gave us a wife.
You too.
So, sounds like drinks. So, are you all in?
Hey, I don't know about no.
You guys
Oh, you gotta be
Is this your last group? So, if y'all kick Eric out, okay, fine.
I don't know, man.
You want to deny?
What if it's not?
Oh, deny? What if I'm not communist?
What if it's not?
Alright guys, so, alright, that was 5 minutes. Okay, so since you guys are the biggest group, this is your last bit, right? This is your finalized group? Yeah. Alright, so if there are any comments in this group, please step forward. No communists? None? Alright, so this group here, if there's any communists, please step forward. See? See? Y'all don't question people right. Alright. I did understand you like anybody that was kicked out or any of you communists? No? Alright. Anybody else communists?
What were you trying to white?
Alright.
You were a white.
Huh?
You were a white.
I'm a best friend of a politician.
So, you guys know how you all were like suspicious and pointing the finger at each other? This is exactly what they were doing during the Red Scare. So, they were accusing people that weren't necessarily communists of being communists, but they didn't know who was a communist. So they had this fear that communism was gonna take over American values. Make sense? Okay. So now, what we're gonna do, because we have to get through a lot, we're gonna shift to, another subject. We're gonna start talking about mass production in America. So, we can go back to our seats. I'll take your cards as well. We're gonna keep moving because we have to get to our test. Oh, we lost a lot of time. So unfortunately, we have to keep going. Alright, so now you have that issue with the Red Scare. Now we're going to talk about mass production. Like always, guys, all slides and things are on class. I will have other things posted as well.
But I downloaded it.
This is Friday. All right, so, remember during World War I, America made a lot of money. Because remember, wars were very expensive. America was providing resources for Europe for both sides, okay? So remember, they were supplying the Central Powers with resources and also Axis powers with resources, okay? And because of that, while Europe's economy is affected, America's economy is booming because they have made money during this time period. Getting tongue-tied, sorry. So we're gonna start looking at mass production and also advertising in America. We're gonna see how it's very similar to how we advertise and produce things in America today, okay? So, you guys know what consumerism is, right? I'll use this as an example. For your iPhones, how many of you have iPhones in here, by the way? Okay, which versions of iPhones do you guys have?
14.
What's the latest one?
16.
16? Okay, how many people have the 16 iPhone? Alright, why did you guys feel like you needed to upgrade your iPhones?
Because,
So, when you had your other versions of your iPhones, why did you get the other one?
so we need a new upgrade.
Because it was broken? Why else did you buy a new one? Better quality?
Oh, I like how it looks.
How it looked? Any new features on those iPhones? From?
Is that the AI?
That's why I'm keeping my phone.
Probably, yeah, so-
Yeah. Would you say it's any different from your last iPhone? If you didn't upgrade from like an older one?
The 17
So why did you buy it?
The new iPhone? Yeah, because it's an upgrade for
Because
everyone.
it's an upgrade. So you guys know Apple advertises in a specific way to get people to want to buy their products
Yeah,
every year, right? Because isn't there an iPhone like every year?
basically.
So you guys are spending money every year for a new phone, but it's not necessarily different from the other one, right? Technically, right? So we're gonna see how America starts to mass produce things, and it's gonna drive the American people to wanna go buy things that they don't necessarily need, okay? So when we're talking about consumerism in the 20s, we have to look at certain things that are being built and created in America. So we have people that are now shifting over to buying cars. They also are gonna start advertising. So you guys have social media, right? Have you ever gotten on social media and you see a targeted ad that's something that you looked at or looked up? That is something that they're gonna start doing during this time period. It won't be via internet or phone, but they're gonna do it through the radio or mail or like physical paper advertisements, okay? So you're gonna see how it's gonna basically create this, oh, I want to have this more so than it be the need. Make sense?
Yeah, that's what they're doing.
Any questions so far?
Email.
Okay.
Email.
So as we are going through this period of advertisement, you are gonna see there's gonna be a boom of cars being built. You're also gonna see a boom in household appliances. So prior to this, they may not have had so many appliances available, but more homes during this time period are gonna have electricity. So you're gonna start to see toasters and kitchen items that we now are used to. They're starting to get these items in America. So with the vehicle being, with the car being built, you're gonna see that people are gonna be able to travel out and drive and do a lot of things in America, okay? So when we're talking about the car, also, quick side note before we get there, you guys, with this particular one here, this picture, it says stock market invincible, buy, buy, buy. We're gonna see in 10 years how that's gonna change. So right now, what you guys need to think of, with the 20s, people are buying and spending and like living very good, okay? In 10 years, we're gonna see how that's gonna shift, okay? If you guys have seen The Great Gatsby, how very elaborate they are with those parties, they're spending money. Now, granted, most of the people are wealthy, but they have these really gigantic parties and people are spending money and they're having fun. That's the time period we're looking at, okay? Although those people are extremely wealthy, but very much so, yes.
Like the Kardashians?
I guess you could say that. If you guys have you guys ever seen The Great Gatsby with Leonardo DiCaprio?
Yeah.
You seen it? Okay, I have to show you. Let me show you a clip real quick.
Yeah.
Let me show you a clip real quick. Now this is based off a book by Scott Fitzgerald. Well, let me show you a clip really quick so you can see what I'm talking about. It's a good movie, by the way, if you wanna watch it. It's a really good movie.
Where is this like in first period? Second period? No, but I don't know what you're talking about. There was like people in there, I was, we had to sing.
Alright,
for,
so,
like, 8 people.
one second.
Yeah. Like, I had a concert. Like, first one.
Sorry. Yeah, so remember this is the original Spider-Man guy, but The Great Gatsby is very elaborate, very.
Wait, it is.
I don't know what's going on with my volume, sorry.
Oh, you know where the rich kid?
Yeah, you'll see, if you watch the movie, you'll see how it kind of transitioned over, but I'll just give you an example how they were like basically living life and partying. So you guys see all that like just expensive, fun partying. This is what they were, not everybody, but the wealthy was having these large parties, spending money, just living really great, and they were having a good time.
Rich girls don't marry poor boys. She's mine. The place is familiar. Were you in the 3rd Division during the war? Oh yes, the 9th Battalion. I was in the 7th. Excuse me. I knew you looked familiar. Having a good time, old school. The whole thing's incredible. I like
See how like elaborate and just
He sent me an actual invitation.
insane this party looks.
Son, you met Mr. Gatsby. No one's met him. They say he's 3rd cousin to the Kaiser, 2nd cousin to the devil. Afraid I haven't been a very good host. You see, I'm Gatsby.
Mind you guys, alcohol is illegal, but they have alcohol at this party. See what I'm saying?
That you may come across 4 or 5 times in
So,
life.
if you're interested,
Is he no?
you should watch it. It's a pretty good movie. So, this is a period of time where people are really enjoying themselves. This is after the war. America's economy is booming. So, with the car, Henry Ford has had vehicles prior. What Henry Ford does, he is able to mass produce cars. So, is anyone familiar about how they make cars nowadays in like the factories? No? So you guys know what a assembly line is, right?
Oh, yeah.
So Henry Ford basically perfects the assembly line. Basically, one person is doing one job involving that car. So let's say, for instance, they're the person putting the door on. They're the only person putting the door on. Everybody has a specific part they're putting into the vehicle. This is what Henry Ford basically makes better. It makes cars less expensive. So cars go from being like a rich man's plaything to everyone being able to afford it for the most part. So now everyone is able to get a vehicle, even the workers working at the factory. So you're gonna see a boom in cars. Also, your interstates are gonna start growing. Make sense? So more cars are gonna be on the road, and people are gonna want to buy a car because they're being an influence, which we'll talk about in a second. Everything makes sense so far? Any questions? Okay, so you have your Model T, which Henry Ford makes. He perfects the assembly line. Cool? Quicker cars being made, more cars being made. This assembly line is what's gonna basically drive American society, so they're gonna take it from Henry Ford and other products are gonna be built. Those household appliances I told you guys about, anything else that's being produced in America is gonna be on this assembly line. They're gonna have more of it, which is gonna be an issue 10 years from now. Okay, cool. Okay. All right, so your forms of media that are gonna be created, you're gonna have the radio and movies. Prior to this, the way in which people got their news was very local. With the radio, you're able to get nationwide news, okay? Not everyone owned a radio, but they were able to have access to a radio. So they're able to get the news, they're also able to get like entertainment. So they have like shows through the radio that everybody can enjoy and talk about, okay? Another thing that's gonna pop up is movies. So they're gonna have movies, they call them talkies, they're black and white, no one's actually talking, by the way. But you're gonna see a bunch of movies being created where people are living certain lifestyles. This is what's gonna influence Americans to go out and go buy things. So you guys know, like on social media, you have influencers that have things and you guys see it, right? That makes you kinda wanna go buy it. Movie stars back then, if a movie star had it, Americans was like, hey, I should go buy that too. So they were kind of their era's influencers. Make sense? So you had a lot of movies being created that basically influenced and started to create a national identity for America. Cool? Any questions? No? Okay. So I'm gonna stop here. We're gonna go over briefly Harlem Renaissance on Friday, because it's really quick. What we're gonna do now, if you guys go to E-Class.
My E-Class?
Yes. You go to my E-Class. If you guys click on 45 information, a slideshow's gonna pop up. What we're gonna do, that's right, I'll pull it up. Depending on which section you guys choose with your group, you're gonna work on this section. You can utilize the information on these slides, but you can also look at some of the information up on Google. So depending on what you choose, you're gonna answer specific questions for, it's not for me. This is a sheet. So what we're gonna do, everybody's gonna get their own sheet. What we're gonna do, the group that has a section or 2 sections, however we work that out, you're gonna basically create a PowerPoint. I'm gonna show you in a second. And you're gonna basically teach the class, and then they're gonna fill in their areas, so everybody at the end of Friday should have their things filled in. Cool? Okay. So for the PowerPoint, you guys don't have to make one. If you go on E-Class, there's a link that says third, you're gonna click that. This is open. Everyone can just add their slides and then put their information and questions on there, and they should be able to, and then you guys will be able to present it and then teach class. Make sense?
What day is that?
Should be under today. 29th. So this link is, it should say third, and then the information is 45A slides for information. Alright, James.
No, it's not.
It's not about it.
It's not about my hand.
Oh, but your hand is big. You have to call your mom?
I need my mom. I need to make sure I don't have to.
On the 26th.
It should be under 29. I got the wrong date on board, my bad. Alright,
I don't see
so,
it.
you see it?
No, I don't.
Am I getting a yes?
The last day is the 26th. The 26th is the after. Week 3?
Look under, it should say, the title should say World War I through the Roaring
What
Twenties.
week is it on?
Week? It is week 4.
Nothing on the week 4.
Should be.
Oh,
no, one second.
We're doing.
That's why you're not listening.
Should be.
I
do find
Melanie, you found it?
Not you.
We're gonna make our own slides.
Oh, slide.
Cam is visible.
I was on the wrong spot.
Okay. Alright, anyone have any questions? Alright, so what we're gonna do, guys, we're going to choose our sections.
I will call my dice.
So, you guys have to choose a section that you wanna work on, and then we'll go from there, okay?
I'm
So-
doing media culture.
If you look at your sheet, we're not gonna do Harlem Renaissance today, but decide which sections you wanna do. There's
I'll do.
The movie industry thing. I'm doing these two.
Hmm?
Oh, we have to choose 2? I don't know. I just chose these 2.
We choose one.
Miss, how many do we choose?
So there's 6 that we're gonna do today. And we have 4 groups. So does a group want to do 2? That's fine, if you want to, if you wouldn't mind doing 2 slides. So if you do, let's say for instance, you do, radio culture and, movies, that'll be 1 slide for the radio, 1 slide for the movies.
It's short.
It can be.
Then they email me the.
Yeah, if you guys could email, Luis the information and the slides, yeah.
Miss, how do I make a slide?
You should be able to go to this and just add, everybody should be able to add a slide, yeah. So what you're gonna do for your section, you're gonna add your slides and then just go from there, cool?
Thank you.
Yes. Information plus outside. You guys chose the section? Yeah. We're not doing, New Jazz or Harlem Renaissance yet.
Yeah,
We'll come back to that, but we will do the front, and then, Irina, which ones did you guys choose?
Radio and movie.
Alright, so radio movie culture is gone. So, on the front, we have Red Scare Introduction and New Amendments, Henry Ford, Rise of Consumerism, that's what we have. So, this will be one more one, so it will be New Amendments. So, New Amendments, alright, New Amendments is gone, radio culture is gone.
We already chose them. 19th
What would you like to do?
Will we choose two first?
No, she said we can't.
Henry Ford. Henry Ford and Analyze.
So, with the Henry Ford, it will be Henry Ford and Rise of Consumerism.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, cool. Louise, you're going to the restroom?
Middle office.
Or,
Tired.
Wait, so it's gonna be Henry Ford, Rise, and Analyze category?
the Rise of Consumerism is a part of the.
Yeah, and then Analyze category.
I'm sorry, I can't put her face.
So you're
Huh?
analyzing data and Henry Ford is main.
Do you have
So
it on
don't
your
worry
face?
about the Rise of
Do you have something on your face?
Oh, I have some.
No.
She said she can't tell what face you're making.
Okay.
Oh, girl, I'm just looking at really blind. I'm just tired. And I wanna go home and sleep.
They chose. They have Red Scare.
Limited means you're not.
Rise of Consumerism.
Yeah.
You're telling me you wanna do these two? I don't care. You're doing these two. You're doing the two.
You wanted to correct this?
No. I will add them. I'll do it me again. You'll do three and I'll do three. I'll be added.
Yours is probably like.
I'm gonna do these three.
No, I'm doing these two. I'm doing these two. I already called them. Alright then, choose, I'm already doing these two. You're doing some by yourself. Alright.
So you make a slide, you're gonna answer.
Alright, yo, you'll do one and you'll do one and I'll do, no, do this last one, just do one and I'll do. So just do the last one, what can we conclude?
Oh, let's see. Are you doing recording? I'm sorry.
I'm doing Henry Ford.
Okay. Whoever else is doing it. Who else is doing the recording? Alright, hold on. Wait. Mario, you chose Henry Ford, right? Alright, never mind the two. So which one do you want more? The Henry Ford or the analyzing the data?
Only one?
Yeah, because Lindsay needs one.
Just do, yeah, Henry Ford.
Okay. You mind, let's see, doing the analyzing the data, so just this.
You were about to do three by yourself.
So you're just looking at the chart, and answering those questions. No, it's just this. It's just this. It's just this.
By yourself, that's how selfish you are.
So you're looking at your chart and just answering questions, that's it. But then there's also slides that have information as well that will help you. It says 45, A through E, information.
What about this one?
Jonathan's doing Red Scare.
Language
is vague.
Who's that? Who's that? Who's the one getting mad? Who's that? Who's that? Who's that? Who's that?
Cam, which one were you doing again?
You are.
New amendments?
You are here cursing. You're cursing, bro. We're trying to.
That's all one.
Good grade. You're cursing, bro.
All that.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You're messed up, bro.
Luis, I'm sorry.
I saw myself
In
that
yourself?
every day, yeah, I still have yet to do it.
Please don't say that, that's so serious. Please don't say that.
You know she can get fired, man.
Yeah, you look through that, and you can also Google some more information that you like. You guys can decorate and, so your 19th Amendment is a part of
I asked him, he said.
Cam, you guys just do till, can you do,
Oh.
Make it
can you guys do till prohibition? So, you see how you have what is prohibition, what did it do? Stop there.
Oh, just two of them now?
Yeah, and then let's see you do
Set
next.
aside.
These guys will do it.
And then I will. Alright, everybody okay? Anybody have any questions?
Okay, no. At all of this. Okay, how many?
What is the second one?
Okay, first, Irene Ortiz.
Ban
Duarte?
the use of alcohol in
Yes.
This,
Your face reminds me.
username.
Your face
Click on
reminds
that,
me.
this is third, and just add your
What
slides.
does prohibition mean?
So you guys can add you can add your slides directly onto this, by the way. So you can add your 2 or however many you have.
Just do,
Onto the
Brian, you
slides.
do the last one, you do the middle one.
So you should be able to edit, everybody should have edit access to this.
Do we run on the paper too?
What you're gonna do, answer your section on your paper, and then once everybody is going through their section, you're gonna write that.
How do they add their own?
Yes.
I don't get it. You want me to add more?
Okay, what were you doing?
What do you mean? Wait, what do you mean?
And this is the one for hers. This is hers.
No, but I shared it with you. Wait,
I
let me
know.
see.
Pero es de ella.
Pero ¿sabes cómo ir a que te mandé yo? Ese.
No, la maestra.
Today, you should have the.
Me for all of
No one told me my date was wrong. Yeah, I'm here with the date. Is that you, Brian, that accident? Anybody have any questions so far?
So I add more, right? Because we each
Oh,
have to
today's.
do two, right?
I'm sorry.
Oh, do we got
Do you want to join a
Like,
group or do you?
If you want, you
want
guys,
to
you
work by
both can work on that one, the movie one. And then, Luis can work on the radio.
No, because one of them has to work.
Huh?
One of them has to work in
So with Litzy,
Yeah, I thought we had to work on one each.
one each.
So
That's what there's 6.
Alright, question for
No.
you. Would you
Hold
mind
on.
doing the
Miss
analyze the
Harden?
data portion? Yes.
They're all doing their own. They're gonna present it to us and.
Do we put it on the computer or do we write it on the paper?
Put it on your slides first.
I had a question, Ms. Harden. So basically,
Do we make our own copies?
No, everybody should be able to just click on it and add their slides. Yes.
you know how we chose radio, culture, and movie
Wait,
industry?
no, I can't.
Yeah.
Well,
Do we do each like, I'm not each question, but each.
Section, so you guys will have 2 slides.
you just have to put whatever.
So one for radio, one
And
for.
2 people work on one and then 2.
Yeah.
How'd you add a slide?
You guys should be able to just click on that little plus sign right there. It should let you. Is it not
She
letting you?
usually
No,
does
it's
it.
a plus line.
Oh,
Oh, wait, so we're not supposed to make our own?
she's doing
No,
it
you're
the way.
supposed to.
No, we're supposed to do 2 slides.
Okay, hold on. Sorry.
Well,
Denaya, were you able
we
to
chose
add
two
slides?
Yeah.
questions.
Oh, no. That could've been me. My bad.
What did the others do? I know, why do you like the others?
You can't even write on
Cause you're imaginary.
My bad, y'all.
No, never mind.
Try
Industry.
Okay, so I put industry.
Yeah, movie industry culture.
Now we can.
My bad, y'all. I left it on viewer, not editor. My bad. Sorry, Denise. Sorry.
Oh, wait.
I'm distracted. So Litzy is doing.
We can do it here now. We can do it on here now, I think. Yeah.
the slideshow.
Wait, everyone has to see where. So how do we do it? Just go back to active slide.
Refresh it, I just changed it.
Okay. When are you gonna work on the radio?
Alright guys, make sure you label your slides so people can know which is which.
Oh yeah, email it to me.
No, just go to the. I'll send it to you.
Now, the information on the slide deck that I provided is a starting point. If you wanna research a little bit more and add more, you can. But just make sure you're answering your. Yeah, so once, if we get to a good point, we may not, but once everyone is pretty much done, you'll still have access so that you can answer questions. Because we don't really have as much time to get through our cases.
Oh, so you can do whatever.
No, that was the only game. I just wanna do the rest of your answers. You guys have to understand why I'm so paranoid about communism. Yeah, but this is basically us going through, the roaring twenties really quickly. And then we'll finish with the Harlem Renaissance on Friday.
No, I already put yours in here. It was right here. No, because she made one, but I couldn't add the copy. I couldn't add the copy. But I already copied whatever.
Representing today.
You get it?
What?
The email?
Yeah, I got it.
Which it was
Oh.
talking about this. It'd be really,
He's talking.
that would be good too, cause you know, this is.
Yeah.
First red scare.
So, we're gonna post it. I already moved it, so.
Yeah, and I would think about that, you know, because if it's not free on Amazon, you know.
Slide 11 or slide 10?
No, we're not supposed to do it here. That's my own slide. She made a slide herself, but I couldn't add it. That's what I'm saying. But now I
Really, I
add
mean,
it.
that was super interesting.
Yeah. For the.
Well, we have to answer those questions.
We'll talk about that, but
Yeah,
I
to
also.
answer this one that we got the topic is.
Yeah.
Geologically, you're a man, scientifically, but in your heart and everything else, you're
That's fantastic.
So, Lauren and I, I'll be next week.
So you're beginning her with us?
No, right down here. First one is like, this one we're supposed to write, we're supposed to write. I made my own because it was like static.
People are adding yours to you.
Because like when I go in, I know you scored it, but I can't see any.
Do we write it down too?
Like we were saying, I had to resend it.
Yes.
I can't see any updates to it.
See, I think I did something wrong. I think I've saved it, but not sent it back to you, cause you resent it. Yes.
This is, it's not assessed or something like that.
Okay, let me look at this. Let me get out of your CPO, so I don't mess something up.
And this will be the one where you need my local.
You're not gonna see it.
Anybody got any questions?
Yeah, so ask the question about it.
Oh, that you, BCF, or was that Kim?
Oh, no, my bad. Always good.
Make it colorful, guys.
Instead of watching
You mean royal blue?
Doing our slide? Oh, I thought that was,
Wait.
something about.
Blue or
Yeah, we can help you out.
No, the slides got
There's like a school.
Yeah.
Baby.
I just started watching on episode. I just finished episode 3 and then everyone was assassination classroom. I don't know why they didn't make a third season.
When he was human.
That's how long I think I watched it. The last time I watched it was in 7th grade.
Is he an artist? King Blues artist.
What happened to my brand? Was he ever have dreaming about not being in school?
They found the first one.
Yeah, you should know this stuff because we had tests on Monday, but also
Always past them. Never studying.
It's never really left me. Like, it depends though.
milestone for this class is from August. Like Obama's election is possibly gonna be a milestone. We don't know, but we have to cover everything, so just in case you guys have questions, you won't know what to
Did
do.
it end up saving the
So you gotta because our test is on papers.
It's just not like supposedly the redhead.
You're focusing on the content, you're focusing on
They
the
ended him.
Exactly.
Did they ended him? Nice. Karma.
Incarnation. Those two. It's really but like, yeah,
Oh my gosh, yes I did.
You guys doing okay?
Why would he make slides? It's stupid if there wasn't a presentation. You would do that paper.
Yeah, I just don't want to go to
If
Mr.
we were
B.
doing a presentation, we would do our paper and then turn it into.
No, I have to go fix one of my senior schedules. That may take some doing.
You always doing something.
This is usually my PLC meeting, so I'm supposed to meet with the rest of the US history teachers today, but I haven't been fixed her schedule. Yeah, usually I have a meeting, usually I have a meeting. So yeah. Sorry, but you gotta go to physics. You gotta. And you have Bartlett.
Yeah, but if you're in the
Take it.
That's okay.
No, I have to go fix the schedule. No, and I have a meeting after that.
And Miss, don't ever let no one stay here.
Exactly.
Who, me? Yeah, cause usually I have a meeting, so I have to go to that meeting. Y'all can't stay in here.
And it closed me out. Yeah, I closed me
Man, you're always in the bed. Out of it. Going from Mexico to
But it's for physics though. You gonna let me know?
Oh, that's still business.
But I finished all my news.
Okay.
you can like right now.
I encourage you guys to look over all your notes that we have on the class so far in PowerPoints, because this test is 2 minutes.
You're the 1890 getting grown by
No,
me.
because,
Alright guys, so quickly, real quick. So, our test is gonna be on Monday. It's gonna be 2 units, okay?
Yeah.
Unit 8 and 9. So, when we were learning about the progressive era, so look back at all those notes, because it's 2 units. So this test is like 36 questions. Look back over your stuff, please, okay? Also, just get in the habit of looking back over your notes, because the milestone is from August all the way till we get to Obama. So that's a lot of information. Just look back over it so you guys can kind of have an idea. milestone is a pretty hefty test for your grade book, okay? And I want you guys to do well, because it makes me look good. But also, it's good for you too. But yes, so please look over your notes, because it'll help you on the test. I will also have a study guide posted. We won't have time to work on it, but I'll post it up so you guys can kind of see some of the content that's gonna be on our test.
So you can look it up on which is the best place to go visit.
Bro, all you're gonna see is pyramids in
Mexico or
Cancun.
Colombia.
All you're gonna see is pyramids in Cancun.
What's the best place to go? Mexico or Colombia?
Okay.
We already finished our work.
It's pretty.
It's free, bro. It's covered. Like it's covered.
But it's steep.
It's
I
covered.
will go to Mexico, but if I had to choose between Colombia and Mexico,
You would go to Mexico.
but I would go to Mexico, because Mexico does have a lot of good, like, historical stuff there. It's cool.
But you know, Colombia is older than Mexico.
No, it's not.
Yes,
It's
it
younger.
is.
I'm older.
Mexico's newer.
I'm not sure if it'll let you guys
Mexico,
do
too.
anything
No,
else besides
no,
change
that's
the
why.
color, but yeah.
No, 'cause
Guys,
They
please,
act like they didn't
apertures,
rule over
apertures,
Mexico.
please.
Bro, Mexico's a new land. It was ruled over
Mexico.
Indians. That's why y'all look like Indians.
The name Mexico, yes, the name
Yeah,
Mexico.
the name, if you look up
No,
the
name,
name,
the name Mexico, the land that was there.
No, it was ruled by
or if you look up like the suffrage.
And then the Spanish came. And then
Suffrages.
that's why y'all look like Indians.
So,
Bro, I'm telling you, yo.
sometimes Mexico was ruled by Indians, but we've been.
Give me a second. I'm trying to look for
Indians don't.
Hey, what do you guys' slides look like though? Do you see?
Yo, Miss Hurley, this man asked the most dumbest question. He said,
Was it
Mexico's
Mexico?
what Indians, why are they keeping Spanish?
No, wasn't Mexico ruled by Spain at one point? Like the land of
Spain
it, not
came
Mexico?
over.
Spain came over
Spain
with,
came over, but there were Native Americans already there.
That's what I'm saying, but didn't they
Indians were
like
already
rule
there.
them, like didn't they change their language and stuff?
Eventually, they kind of
Yeah,
got
they-
it.
they-
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 But we're talking about the Spain ruled Mexico, you idiot. They
They
should have,
did.
Hey, why do you have to be so mean?
Bro, because this man pisses me off, bro. Look at his face, his body, his mouth.
They did
So
rule.
mean.
His
Don't
boy.
be that way.
Bro, he's so hard-headed, bro. Like, he's hard-headed, bro.
Bruh,
Like,
they
y'all
did,
be nicer, please.
they did rule.
Oh, you see, he
You
said.
guys, you remember when we were talking about at the beginning of the year how Britain came over to the United
Yeah,
States and
yeah,
how
came over.
France and Spain had territories? Yeah.
There you go.
So,
just said it.
so Spain did have territories, so.
Spain had
Spain
territory,
put
not
over
ruled
those
over.
territories, but yeah, they were, remember when, like, America, like, Britain was ruling over America?
Britain had America, and
Spain had territories
found,
too.
yeah, Spain had
So
territory.
Mexico was a part of that.
Okay, Mexico was a part of that.
But they ruled over them, they had that territory, but they took
They
it.
didn't have their own government at the time.
But the original nationality was Indian, like Indian.
Native Americans, not Indians.
Yeah, those Native Americans.
They look like
Now,
Native
the
American
reason why they called them Indians is because Christopher Columbus thought he was an Indian. So they're Native Americans, but he thought he was an Indian, so they called them.
That looks
That's
cute.
the
cute.
reason why Spain,
Do they like that?
Yeah.
Europe, Spain and England are together, are like somewhat together, is because of Colombia, because they had a fight over there.
Okay, I'm done. Yeah.
Right? So that's why.
That's all?
So if you
I don't know what else to
remember
add.
how we were talking about, America when they were going over into Cuba and Philippines and stuff like
I
that, very
can
similar
back
stuff.
with
That's why there's a whole
America.
people than Colombia.
Yeah, very similar stuff.
There we go.
I told you.
I still can't believe that whole thing.
Are you guys okay?
Yeah.
You don't speak.
Denise, you okay?
Spanish, you speak some type of different.
I like it.
That's why.
That's nice.
Yeah, I like it. Yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Mexico was like
That's kind of ugly.
Native American.
It was like, what the fuck? Remove
face it, Native Americans.
Oh, no, I'm not.
Indians and Native Americans. Indians and Native Americans are the same. Google Native Americans and Indians. Indian, we just like
It'll stay there.
was an Indian, so we call them.
Probably have to do is just, everybody
But they
will just
weren't
have to
Indians,
work
they're
on
Native
it.
Americans, but if you look at them, Indians have been darker. No, Indians are golden Indians. But Native Americans are dark.
Oh, yeah, it's dark.
Look up, if you look up Native versus Indian, you can see them. Well, they're.
Are we going to, with prohibition, doesn't specifically mean alcohol?
Yeah, they're.
I should get 100 for that.
It's just so that we can go through a lot more stuff quicker because we have to get to the.
Drunk drivers.
Yes, we have our tests.
Drunk drivers cause more, crashes.
Yeah. You know.
I'm just trying to fix it.
They're saying like after it got
I took a
banned, what
picture
did
of
it
it.
lead to?
Oh, yeah. You gotta remember,
Hey, Paco.
because that just so great.
Spain won against England. So
Yeah.
Spain had,
Yeah, because I was saying that here, Spain and France did not get along with
Which one are y'all
Great
doing?
Britain. They were in
I'm
competition.
doing, me
So
and Irvin are
whichever
doing radio
kingdom can
culture,
have more
and
control over
then
territories,
Ashley
they
are
were making more
doing
money and then they just
The music
showed
one?
they were very
The movie
powerful.
one?
What's the final battle?
Alright.
I don't know specific information, I'll have to look it up, but probably so, because they're, mostly when countries are coming over to take over, they're not gonna fight in their own country, they're gonna go where the situation is.
I'm pretty sure it was under the South
It's a
little
I'll
island.
keep going on that.
What's the last country?
Because you're different.
Bolivia?
Is it Chile? No, no, Chile. It's like somewhere under.
Oh, you said underneath?
Oh, yeah.
I what country?
I have my phone.
So I believe they're finding around one of these islands. Oh, the little island. Yeah, the little island. Yeah, I can't.
No, that makes sense, but no, usually when they're trying to take over.
I still listen to you, I just check right
for
now.
that
Cause yeah, look,
Oh,
here's
mine was too small, but
Colombia.
this is not.
And this was, cause Colombia and
I just
Venezuela.
feel like this, like.
First Brazil was a one. That was the Great Colombia.
I need my
It was one territory.
And that was all ruled by Spain. So.
But you think about it, when we're talking about how America went over into Cuba, so that Spain could get control of it, probably very similar.
And the rest was owned by the
Some French, yeah.
Some French.
Because remember, they wanted to get as much territory as possible, so that's why some countries will have a different national language in the same continent. It just depends on who took control. So like the Philippines has influence from like Spain.
Use them
I wouldn't believe all the way on the southern
When
line.
I got from the.
I've never been to Canada.
Yesterday?
Canada's not one whole thing, it's several things cut in half.
I like it.
I've never been, my mom has been, like, before you needed the passport to go over there, she said, my parents, as long as they drive, they used to drive, like, all the way there to Canada.
Another thing I don't like about Canada is the bills are bad. It's terrible. And they said that the free insurance is like every house.
Oh, wait, for healthcare? Yeah,
You have to write the
over in
notes on
certain
here.
parts of Europe too, they have universal healthcare.
You have to write it, you have to write it down.
Sorry, touch.
Yeah, that's just. Little thing in the back. Is that my
It was-
right?
It was a bit This was an accident, but no, I was too lazy to make a restart. It's okay, I like it.
Look that dark from Native Americans.
Alright guys, we have a few more minutes. Alright, so what we're gonna do with our papers on Friday, we're just gonna, finish up. So for your papers, you're gonna need to, when the other groups are going over their sections, you're gonna have to fill in your, answers, okay?
Look at that, because the Aztecs don't fire.
Wait, what if we don't have school on that, on the Valentine's
But the
Day?
Aztecs
So guys, just put your papers in your folders. We'll work on this on Friday. If you need a few more minutes to do your slides, we'll go through the next.
Huh?
I thought you were showing me something. I thought you were showing me something. I was like, huh?
Also, guys, check your grades. If you have any of those worksheets that I put in the grade books, please give them to me as soon as possible. I would appreciate that so much.
What test is on there?